A few months ago, I made this video. When I'm mad, I'm sorry, when I'm mad, I'm not dating nobody. I'm not dating no one. I'm not dating nobody. I'm done with dating. I'm done. I'm done. So I'm not done with dating anymore. But there are some dating mistakes that I will never, ever, ever make again. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zogi and I'm a Gemini, which is why this channel is called Zogi the Gemini. So after making that video a few months ago, yeah, and even how you guys responded to that video, like I didn't know so many people were gonna resonate with that video. I just felt like it would be good to have an update on that video and to kind of put you guys on somewhat of a game. Obviously I know most of the things I'm gonna say in the video you guys know already, but I'm gonna be reminding you, sister. Stand up!
Y'all be weak in the knees. Stand up! Stand up!
Stand up, my sister. There are some mistakes that we made in 2021, and no, for the rest of for our whole life, not even just 2021, our whole life. There's certain mistakes, certain day mistakes that we have been making, and 2022 is not going to be that year. I know that we're 3 months in, but it's never too late to turn around your life. It's never too late to stop making mistakes. And if you're interested in what these mistakes are, make sure you stay tuned. Or if you're there, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And please do follow me on Instagram. I'm on a road to 5k. I always tell you guys, I know you're actually sick of me at this point, but I still need to tell you. So just to jump straight into it, the first mistake that I was making before, and the first mistake that I have stopped doing now, is romanticizing a relationship. I feel like growing up, yeah, we saw relationships, like when we, TV and social media, we saw relationships as this picture perfect things. Like we romanticized the kind of men we wanted. We kind of put men as not necessarily put men as the trophy, but arguably some of us did. And that really come from what we watched. And though this is like, Zogi, this is deep, but my sister, I'm gonna go deep, because even when you think about it, when you think of Cinderella, when you think of Tiara, when you think of Bella, when you think of all of these Disney princesses, yeah, it's always centered around a man. A man always come to save the day. And whilst obviously we're growing up, whilst I'm not saying that you have that belief, obviously you're an adult, you know that that's just like a childlike way of thinking. It's been ingrained in us because we all have that inner child. Our inner child wants that Cinderella ending moment. Like a lot of us wanted that whole Disney kind of love. Now the thing is, yeah, I'm not saying that we're not deserving of that, but one thing I've now realized is that it's not every guy that you date that is gonna lead to that. And it took me a long time to realize, because when you're dating someone, yeah, and you guys are connecting really well, you kind of feel like, well, this is it for me. Met my husband, you know. It was nice dating, it was nice knowing all of you guys. I'm off the streets, don't plan to come back, resigned, handed in my notice, goodbye streets. So we kind of like, because we want to be in a relationship, we want that stability, we want that affection and love from the guy. We have all of these predestined requirements, and we're not really clocking. Just because, yeah, you can laugh with him like it's going good for now, in the long run, will this actually go anywhere? And I feel like now I understand that some dating experience, some situationships and relationships are literally just supposed to be a learning curve for you. Like God has literally placed that person in your life to be a learning curve for you. You guys were never destined to be long run, to be like forever. That is just a situation that you are supposed to learn from. And for me, it's now made me understand that I now need to stop romanticizing and thinking that every guy that I really connect with is gonna be the one. Let things run naturally. Let things flow. I know you like him. I know he does everything you've ever wanted. I know he's literally perfect to an extent. You know, everyone has their own flaws, but he's perfect. You feel like he's perfect for you, but let life take its course. Don't try and place labels. Don't try and force something that may have never been destined for you. So I feel like that's the first mistake I will not be making in 2022. I will no longer be romanticizing a relationship. Certain times we want things in men that really and truly we have not set it up for ourselves. So we want a guy to make us feel like we look beautiful, like the most special girl in the world, that we're the, like, we want the confirmation that, you know, we're the prettiest girl he's ever come across. But sis, do you genuinely believe that? Do you genuinely believe that you are beautiful? Do you genuinely believe that you're worthy? Do you genuinely believe that you're deserving? If you don't believe that you're deserving, if you don't believe that you're beautiful, you should never let a guy have that power to be the person that determines whether you deem yourself as beautiful or not. Because I'm telling you, that's a slippery slope. That's uncharted territory that you do not want to go down. So the first mistake I will not be making, we will not be making, is romanticizing a relationship or romanticizing men in general. Now let's move on to the second one. So the second one, yeah, and this is arguably the most important one. When you are dating a guy, when you guys are starting to get to know each other, when you guys are like courting and he's courting you and everything is going beautiful, keep your mouth shut. Don't be too quick to say, this is what I want in a guy. Oh, my ex done this, I just wish he was like this. Or this is what I want if a guy to do. Stop telling a guy every single thing you want from him or you want him to be. Because you know what he's going to do, sis? He's going to become that person. He's literally going to become an embodiment of everything you have described that you want in a guy. Is it natural? No. Is it truly him? No. But in order to secure you, whatever he wants from you, even if he just wants to keep you around, he doesn't necessarily just want to have sex with you and leave you, but he just wants to kind of have you there as someone that he can just go to whenever he wants to. Whatever his intentions are for you, you telling him everything the guy has done to you or everything you want in a guy, in everything that you just want in general, he is going to become that. You have identified and drew a map to how to get into your heart, how he can break those walls down, how he can literally penetrate, literally mentally, physically, everything into you. Stop talking too much. Let his actions actually show you who he is. I know when you meet someone you feel like you have a connection with them, you want them to be everything you've ever wanted, but the truth is they are not going to be, not all the time. Let them be who they are naturally, because by the time you start saying, I want a guy to do this and I want a guy like this, not like materialistic, but just like, oh, I want a guy to call me every day, I want him to ask me how was your day, I want him to go and text me in the morning, good morning princess. He will do all of it, my sister. He will do it. He will do it, but for how long is he gonna do it, and why? What is the tensions behind it? Is it natural to him? Is he doing it because that's how he naturally is? Or is he doing it for doing sake? Or is he planning to just do it for a period of time because he knows if he's able to keep up the facade for a period of time, once he successfully captures you mentally, physically, everything, you won't leave. You're just there. You won't leave him, because you become emotionally dependent on him. And that is what I even want to move on to the next one. So the third one is, do not become emotionally dependent on a guy. Very hard to do, easy to say, but very hard to do. I feel like in all my situations, yeah, I just being alone. Just living my best single life. And I feel like a lot of us can actually testify to this. We have been living our best single life, yeah? Then you meet a guy, whether online or face to face, and this guy starts to put in the work. He's messaging you every day, or he's calling you every day. And in as much, you may like him, but you don't want to be too quick to kind of fall for him. You don't want to be too quick to kind of succumb to him. So you're kind of playing a hard to get. I can't like me, I love a hard to get. I know it's outdated, but me love it. To me love it's hard to get. You can't, no, even when a guy calls me, you think I'm going to pick up straight away? No, No, I'm gonna let it ring, 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 ring. And when I feel like he's about to cut up, like, hello, you okay? Yeah. We've all been there. So whilst we're living a life, yeah, so he's putting an effort, he's talking to you, and you know, it gets to a point, yeah, where you're like, do you know what? I'm attracted to him. His personality is good. His chat is good. I mean, like, why not? Let me explore it. Let me stop being a bitch. Let me actually, you know, give this guy the time of day. So then you start speaking every day and you see more often, or, you know, that connection starts to form, right? So the guy's putting in the work, You was living your best life. You were just there. You was just there living your best life. He came to come and meet you. Every morning he's always messaging you. Every night he's messaging you or he's calling you. He's doing all of these things to sweeten you up, basically. So then what then happens now, guys? He now becomes part of your daily routine. In as much as you try to fight it, no matter how much you may not want it to be the case, if you speak with someone every day and that you know the person, you always speak in the morning, you speak in the afternoon, and you speak during the day, or you text during the day, that becomes part of your daily routine. And it is hard for you to like emotionally detach yourself from it, because it's just something that you become accustomed to. So anyway, so the guy puts in the work, making sure he's in contact with you every day, yeah? So you get to a bit where you're emotionally attached to him. Now, this bit is where it gets very, very, very dicey. Once that emotional connection has formed, most of the time the guy knows, because what they will start doing, so what some demons will start doing, yeah, once they've put in a work initially that they're messaging you every day, they've now become, they know they are part of your daily routine. They know you are waiting for them to call you. And what we do a lot of time as women, that kind of just, you know, lets these guys know that we're kind of like, oh, wow, where you been? When they call us, yeah, let's say for example you guys speak every day, yeah, or let's say he takes, like, it's been a few days. When you speak to him, a lot of times be like, oh, what have you been doing? Like, long time no see. That kind of, you are literally letting him know that it's been a few days. I've been wondering why you have not messaged me. I've been wondering why you haven't texted me. I've been wondering why you have not been in communication with me. And at that point, the guy knows that I'm part of her daily routine. I am part of her daily routine. That emotional attachment has started to form. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. That's how, you know, that's like the building blocks, yeah. But the problem is, at that part, you become vulnerable, basically, because you have built that emotional attachment. And if it's someone, if it all depends on the guy's intentions. If his intentions are good, then it's fine. You kind of, obviously it's always good to kind of like manage the attachment you have to people. Do you get what I mean? But if his intentions are bad, that is where it gets worse, because once they've acknowledged that that emotional attachment has formed, they then start testing it out, and then you'll see that the guy will put in the work, yeah, messaging every day, communication is beautiful for maybe a month or 2 months, and then you'll go through the period of time where you won't speak for like a week or 2 weeks. And then it's always like, oh, like I'm really busy at work, or I've started something, but it was all planned. It was all planned from the very get-go. And you see me? I will not be a participating party for that. I've seen it happen so many times. It has happened to me before, I've told you guys before, and I've seen it happen to my friends. I've seen it happen, even some of you guys have even told me about times where that's happened. That has made me realize this is generally an approach some guys take when it comes to just keeping a girl there. Do you get what I mean? Like, just keeping her locked in. So the key takeaway from what I'm saying in this point is, do not allow yourself become emotionally reliant. on someone till they have fully proven themselves. Even though it's nice to kind of have that daily interaction, whatever, until you fully know their character and you have a good sense of their intentions and where they want it to go, do not allow yourself to become emotionally dependent on them. You should never be emotionally dependent on anyone. Do not give them so much power, whereas if you don't speak to them, you feel weird. Because sis, was you not living your best life before? Sis, was you not living your best single life before? But because they've become part of a daily routine, you just feel like they are supposed to be there, and that's how they position themselves. They've strategically done that, so it's not like they're the greatest person ever. They're not like they're the best person ever. They have just the consistency. That initial consistency is tricking your brain to believe that you need it. You may want it, but it's tricking your brain to feel like you need it. And the worst cases is when you become mentally dependent on someone, mentally attached to someone, whereby if you don't speak to them, you're kind of like, what's going on? Is it me? And when you get to be, and this the thing, yeah, this the thing. Once you become emotionally attached to them, yeah, where you know you're fucked, yeah, is when you say to yourself, so once they've done the first initial period of forming that attachment, yeah, so they're consistent, they speak to you every day, they make sure they're always in regular communication with you, then they go into that withdrawal period, but they know you're still there. They know that they've formed that emotional connection, yeah, where you know you're fucked and where you know that you need to get out of there instantly is when you're starting to think, did I do something wrong? Did I say something wrong? Have I made him upset? What did I do? Knowing damn well the same way you've been speaking to him before is the same way you've been speaking to him now. Knowing damn well that nothing you've done or nothing you said has actually dramatically changed. But because of how he's moving, you now think you're the problem. You now think you've done something wrong. The person that was chasing you before now becomes the person that is now chased. You're now messaging them like, oh, what's going on? Like, have I done something wrong? Never again. It's the ghetto. It's the ghetto. No. Until that person have fully shown they are a reliable and constant person, do not allow yourself become emotionally attached to them. Do not allow yourself to become emotionally attached to them. Boundaries need to be set. And the best way to do this is by setting boundaries. You need to have those boundaries. You need whatever works best for you. Whatever boundary you can set in place where you can still be who you are, still get to know this person, but not become emotionally dependent on this person or emotionally attached to the person. Whatever boundary you need to, or whether, I don't know, obviously everyone is different, but whatever boundary you need to put in place, my sister, do it. 2022 is not the year where we will not be setting boundaries. We need to set those boundaries and we need to stick to those boundaries. We need to adhere to those boundaries because the boundaries is what will help us stay level-headed. And the last dating mistake I will not make is not listen to my intuition and my guts. I wholeheartedly believe that your body, I know it's going to sound mad, guys, but I wholeheartedly believe that our body knows what's going to happen to us before it happens. I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like that's where our intuition comes. When we have certain vibes from someone, where like, you used to perceive them a certain way, your body used to react in a certain manner, or when they say certain things and you start thinking you saying, it's kind of, the red flags are kind of coming up, but you ignore it, you ignore your intuition, you ignore that gut feeling. No more. Your body knows, my sister. Your body knows. Most of the times where we're blindsided by something, the signs were always there. Even in the worst situations that I've ever been in with a guy, in as much as it threw me off when it happened, when it materialized, when I sit down, even sometimes, even when I even said it as a story time, there's one particular story time here when I was explaining to you guys what a guy done to me. And you know, like, I never like thinking of certain things, so I just don't think of it. But when I sat down and I spoke about it, I'm just like, Zoki, the signs were there. You knew. You knew, but you ignored them. Your body was telling you this. Your brain was screaming at you, but you told it to be quiet. Your intuition was telling you, listen, leave this alone. It's not worth it. It's not going to end well. But you continued it because you wanted to. And that's the same thing. If you are dating someone, right, and at any point your body or your intuition or something is telling you something isn't right, no matter how nice or kind the person seems to be, no matter how much you feel like he's the perfect person for you, if your body is telling you that something ain't right, something ain't right. And that is my final point. Be careful. That's the key take home. Be careful. Dating can be a really beautiful thing. It can lead to so much happiness, and it can lead to you meeting someone that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. But at the same time, we need to know that there's a lot of mistakes that we make over and over again, and that leads us to the wrong type of men. Do you get what I mean? That leads us to being attracted to the wrong type of people, and we're constantly finding ourselves in the same situations because we're constantly going for the wrong people, and the right people are there, but we are just ignoring them because we're just focusing. We have like a one-track mind on a particular thing. 2022, that's not gonna happen no more. Amen, amen, amen. 2022, we are no longer going to be making mistakes. But yeah, that is everything for me. I know there's a few things that I missed out on. Please do let me know. What do you think one of the biggest dating mistakes you have made was? Let me know down below, because I feel like, even like with the previous video where I said I'm done with dating, I learned a lot from you guys by just literally you guys telling me your stories or telling me some mistakes that you've made or some things that's happened to you. And I'm just like, yo, that has happened to me, and I didn't realize why it happened, but hearing it from this person, it makes sense as to why it ended the way it ended. So make sure you let me know down below. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.